Nice shots. Sure, let's go with balance. 518. 518 starts to sounds very reasonable. I'm not gonna be going fast for Pro with Superstar. I just wanna like at least do one reset early start. Besides how fast I go here, it doesn't matter at all. All that really matters is how much I restart. Yeah, this is like Superstar, we're gonna be like a lot of 7.
9.
Which is 1 7 first.
Congratulations!
I have no idea why my balance assumes I will get a 518 for
9.
that's just fucking insane time. And it's not this is not good also.
9.
You can totally kill this? Oh, that's great. Hopefully we get in. I genuinely do think we have good chances of getting in. I am very quiet. Huh. I'll fill with this setting to this we, you mean WII, of course, the Wii Series community. I don't think any PAL Wiis are getting into GDQ except for maybe for our boy Mudkip. Mudkip would be a PAL Wii.
9.
Nice, I have no idea how that worked. Am I louder now?
9.
What is backwards about? Oh no, 7 game 3. This is gonna be like a 4x. Super slow. I have to listen very intently to hear you over the game. I'll turn down the game then. I'll turn it way down. There you go. Hopefully that should be better. Um, I put my mic at 15 decibels and the game at minus 50. That should help. Hopefully. Also, I think my mic is not stereo for some reason. Like, our media capture card has like 2 bars of audio and the mic only has 1. So you might only be listening to me through your right ear or through your left ear, which is kind of weird. Bro, my balance is just 5 golds in a row. How is that? What calculation led to my splits deciding that should be my balance? That's insanely hard. It's not like I tie any of my other golds either. Hmm. Well, I don't know. I don't know what it's thinking. It's really bad. 540 something. Well, I guess this is like what I could expect in an old forecast run, like 547. Like just not trying at all to go fast. Nor playing very well, to be honest. It's the streaming effect. Also, Tyler, you should definitely ping more in the world record pace server for like whenever anyone IU bans some get some pace for any category. Avermedia is pronounced I'll read now. Avermedia is pronounced with the same sound as when you just say letter A. Yeah. Avermedia? No way. Avermedia, besides it's a Spanish name, it's not an English name. It's if you translate it, it's like let's see media. That's the name of Avermedia, as you guys call it for some reason. Media, but the turns are so short. Fair enough. Yeah. I wanted to like get into world record pace server just to like ping Benson because there's no one else streaming nor anyone else at world record level playing. But so the having to get contact to mod is like so stupid. I don't want to DM someone just to be able to interact in the server. I dislike that system. Friend status will be compromised if you have to say I have a meeting in public. Man, have you heard me talk? I don't think it's very hard for anyone to notice I'm not from the US. I feel like I'm probably getting a bit better at English though, like verbally speaking. So that's good. I know Token said I have like an Eastern European accent. I I don't know if that's true. I guess it's for other people to decide, but I doubt I have an Eastern European accent. I don't sound like a Slovenian or whatever. What is the opinion of Mr. Tyler? Holy shit, that's an 8. Look, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to reach chat by playing Archery. I get to reach chat for like 2 seconds before I need to play the game again. Your novel verse and accents for now. Like, I wonder what people think, like, just from listening to me talk. Like, where do I think I am? Because I don't think people have a very good conception of what an Argentinian English accent is. Simply play all three chats. That's not a bad idea. That's weird. Well, that wasn't a bad game. Like, even at level 1700, I need to start actually paying attention to my score. Like, you need to average 118 past Superstar, or not past Superstar. You need to average 118 past Pro Quest to even get an 11 cycle Superstar. It's really hard. Know anything about known for Pro accents? Don't you watch YouTube and stuff? I remember that. Yeah, it's only that fact. One of them is Tiger Woods. I don't think he counts. I don't, what do you think I look like? I'm very interested in knowing. What do you imagine an Argentinian person looks like? You don't count Tiger Woods as I'm not counting Tiger Woods. Definitely not. Oh, this is not even it's like superstar. There's no shot. Literally never seen one. Have you never seen Messi? I'm literally Messi IRL. Why don't you count Tiger Woods? You only know his name because he's Tiger Woods. Not because you actually know him personally. Messi could just be any white guy. He's Messi. I don't think any white guy could be Messi. He's a goat. What? That's not a 10. I could be Messi in North America or England. I think he's from there. Ah, fair enough. Oh, that was Superstar. Let's go. 13-12, so quick. That's not equal PB. Only 23 behind PB. That's not terrible. My PB has a very slow start, to be fair. It has an insane 235 kills, but like 6 minutes flat is actually super good. I don't think you know much about the great speedrun right here. So. I guess my main goal for this run is to just I don't know if I want to get sub 40. It's totally possible. Yeah, that's true. It went through the roof. What the fuck happened? I fixed it though. You're misremembering what Messi looks like? You can look him up. He's a very Googleable guy. I blame Aphantasia. That's the thing where you can't actually picture things in your brain, and you just have amorphous clouds of concepts. Ah, Fantasia, no fantasy. Yeah, that's probably what you're talking about. Oh, that's a terrible shot. What did he say? Amorphous clouds? Um, where you can't imagine things in your brain. That's what I was talking about. So I'm just going cake. Yeah, it's no mind's eye. You actually have a Fantasia? Yes, what amorphous clouds? Amorphous cloud of concepts. That's what I was saying. You can't visualize stuff, but you can recall stuff. You do. I know I don't really buy that it exists. Like I can't actually picture stuff. I can picture stuff in my brain, but it's not like it holographically appears in front of me. I imagine the Fantasia people are like that too. Alright, how would you be able to recall Max's face? Like the more I think about it, the less I think I could explain how imagination works. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what a scholar has to say about it, to be honest. Or a philosopher. Maybe Fantasia? I really don't think so. I really don't think so. Like, if you tell me to imagine a red cube in a black space floating around and spinning, I can totally do that, but it's not like the cube appears in front of me. That's definitely not true. Like, people don't hallucinate. Like, I can very vividly imagine stuff, but I don't actually see it. Like, I can see it, but I can't see it. It's hard to, it's like, you can't explain it. People are definitely not hallucinating when they imagine stuff. Like, I can see the cube spinning around, but I don't actually see it. Good test, it seems to work. Go for it. You mean like an archery arrow? I can imagine an archery arrow, alright? Yes, it is aforementioned big news. I said hype event, not big news though. What is a more hype event than a Mine Extended stream? Very PogChamp, Mr. Xenu? Yep, I agree. Perfect game is actually huge. The red com oh yeah, I can totally imagine that. Like I can see the fake Mr. Beast doing his thing and then a circle appearing and an arrow appearing after the circle. It's very good. No archery range. Well, I've done whatever you tell me to. Like, if you tell me to imagine an arrow, I can instantly picture it in my brain. Like, I genuinely do think that aphantasia is just a disagreement between people explaining how their imagination works. Which way the arrow is pointing? I'm imagining Mr. Beast, so it's pointing down left. Like it usually does. It's like a sort of like it's not like perfectly cardinally aligned arrow. It's sort of like twisty a bit, but it's definitely pointing down left. Okay, that's where the difference is. You have no arrow, huh? Also, two perfect games in a row. That's pretty pogchamp, as some people would put it. Your arrow has no direction. Interesting. Living card. If I ask you to picture give up in your brain, and I ask you where the ball is pointing when you give up one through the tree method, would you be unable to answer that question? Just think of the concept of an arrow. We could be pedantic and say that I'm too imagining the concept of an arrow, but I don't think we want to get into the philosophy of words, though it might be fine. Fun thing to do while playing archery. Fuck, I should pay more attention. There's a tree, of course. Yeah, that's one answer. So I guess to compensate for your disability, I guess your memory has to be better. That's gonna miss. Oh, actually, that was perfect. Okay. So your brain just works with quantum mechanics. Like you have a super precision of arrows all at once. So true, Benson. Oh, hey, Glenn. Quick question. Can you imagine a red arrow? You don't have a super precision of arrows. How come? That's exactly. Your arrow could be pointing any. It just shoot randomly assign whichever your brain. I would need to read more carefully. But to me, it sounds like you have a super precision of arrows. Yes. What way is the arrow pointing, Mr. G Land? We're playing chess while Tyler is playing checkers. I don't know. You too have aphantasia? Could be anywhere. But when you pictured the arrow in your brain, when you imagine the arrow, that's high? I don't know. I think it's good. When you imagine the arrow, did it point somewhere? I think that could be low. Holy shit, that's close. Could be inner upwards. Okay, you don't have a Tyler disease. Let's go. I wonder if having aphantasia has any advantages. It sounds like it could be disadvantageous in many positions. Or, I don't know, spatial thinking is required, or knowing where arrows point could be useful. But I guess if you need to do more conceptual things, it could be good. It's it's Tyler disease. I will call the union of imagination experts to rename aphantasia to Tyler disease. Yeah, we're talking about the fact that Tyler can't imagine things. Well, there are people who don't know tinnitus is a thing until they're 21 and they learn they have it, and other people don't. And those people are undeniably disadvantaged by that. And it's not that I'm convinced it doesn't exist. Well, I guess I kind of am. I just disagree with your definition. You and I could very well be imagining the same things and just choosing to describe them in a different way. It's just my eyelids. I don't hallucinate cubes or arrows. I guess my conceptual imagination is more deep than yours. If I ask you to imagine your eyelids, to picture you closing your eyes and seeing your eyelids, how does that work for you? What do you imagine? I have a very clear picture of what I imagine, but I don't know what you are imagining. If your imaginary has an arrow, then something is different between. If I imagine a circle, then that could be a superposition of many different arrows, and as a whole, they have no direction. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe that's what you're thinking about. You're a quantum thinker. Superposition of arrows. You imagine literally nothingness. I personally imagine darkness. Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. Like you're saying, you have this massive disadvantage where you can't imagine things, but you're also saying it's so minor that you didn't even know people didn't have this crazy ability before. How does that work? Like, I guess for you, it's kind of hard to picture what I picture in my brain. So for me, it's kind of hard to picture what you're thinking about. Because it's not like I literally see things. I'm not hallucinating, as I was saying before. But the concept of an arrow does come into my brain. Some things ready to imagine a horse or an apple and pick one of six pictures that resembles a clear different image. Nearly everyone just picks a completely normal image of a horse or an apple. Yeah. Can you imagine movement? If I ask you to imagine a horse galloping, could you do that? It's just a difference. I know. I will need to look more into this. I just need like as a factoid, but this does sound pretty interesting to look into. Tyler, this is the horse is already beyond what I can see. Well, that's a clear disadvantage in my opinion. Like if I don't know, imagine I ask you to describe what a horse galloping is, or like what it looks like, or what it does. I would have a much easier time doing that because I can imagine what the horse is doing and then write that down into words. You shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, I think Tyler overstates what people without Tyler disease can do. Like, I don't think people literally daydream like you would see in cartoons. Like, you just think about stuff. I spend a lot of time thinking, but I wouldn't say I daydream in the sense that I'm hallucinating and meant something else and I literally stop existing in the real world. That's literally what daydreaming is in the real world. I love not thinking how. I love thinking. That's the best part of being alive. I shouldn't be able to do what exactly? You shouldn't be able to describe what a horse galloping looks like. If I ask you to imagine a novel situation and write it down, then you shouldn't be able to do that because you wouldn't be able to imagine it. Mine exam philosopher arc. I love philosophy. I would love to take a class of philosophy someday. I probably should, but I don't know if I can with the way my classes are structured right now. Okay, Tyler, let's assume that I do ask you to describe what a horse galloping looks like. And I am asking you to do that. It would be great if you could take part of this exercise. Like, how does your brain work in that situation? What what goes on in your brain for you to output the words that describe the horse galloping if you can't picture the horse galloping in and of itself? Like, is it just like an epiphany that just comes out like out of nowhere? The arrow, it's kind of dicey. Ah, horses gallop, they're running in the fields, high grass and shit. Can you describe the motion? Like, how the horse's legs move? I asked you to describe something more mechanistic because now you're just describing like a stereotype, which is something you can recall, like just from memory. But I guess it would be hard to mechanistically describe something. So if I tell you that a boat is moving to the left and a boat is moving to the right, for you those two statements are equivalent. When I ask you to imagine a boat moving left and a boat moving right, then those two are like perfect equivalent statements. Both make equal sense to you and both look the same to you. Can I ask why you're playing so much archery? I'm having fun. That's the only reason, to be honest. The records are definitely optimized enough now. This is the only category I can really play, and still hope to PB. Pro is too good, or All Sims is too good, and All Secret Targets is too good. How does that recollection get stored in your mind? Because it definitely have memory. Um, if you see something and then someone asks you to recall what you saw, how do you remember it? What does that process look for you? Well, yeah, people without terrorists also think the same thing. Like, I don't stop watching at my archery game to think about boats moving left or right. I just picture the boats moving left or right in my brain. But it's not like I'm seeing two. How did I miss? It's not like I'm seeing two things at once. Um, like I'm thinking about the boat and I'm also playing archery. I'm doing two things at once. But it's not like it's not like I put on goggles where I just see in one hand I see the bolts moving left to right, and on the other hand I see the archery game. I just see the archery game and I think of the bolts, which are two separate actions. I'm not seeing two things. No. Brute pyramid game. Maybe too far left. Finally, I got lucky with one of those borderline situations. Wow, and then I made a terrible shot. Wow. Know what happened? You can see it out of your house, but I naturally still know where they are. So you do remember that you need to go right. Like I don't know how your house is laid out, but you remember that you need to go right to I don't know go to the kitchen. You don't have to figure that out every time. So you have memory. So I would guess that the visualization part of recollecting memory just happens entirely subconsciously. Like you can't be asked to consciously remember something. After the daydreaming thing, I didn't think it was that clear. You know that you need to walk right to get to your car, but you can't imagine yourself doing that. Like, that's where a disagreement is. I could draw a roughly accurate floor plan of my house. How could you be able to do that without being able to recollect your house? Those two statements seem entirely contradictory to me. You shouldn't be able to draw something. If someone asks you to picture something and then to draw it, if you can't like actually visualize it, then how would you be able to draw it? I don't like that throw. Yes, thank God. How do you recollect the details of your house? Do you recollect words? I'm trying to understand because these statements are contradictory. How do you draw your house? Do you need to close your eyes? I don't need to close my eyes, but I do need to visualize it. Like, I would be hard pressed to draw my house without, like, doing both things simultaneously, draw my house and not visualizing my house. I don't think I could do. Moreover, the act of drawing is a visualization. It's literally a visualization, like, by definition. You don't necessarily have to recollect words. So you just get the quote unquote feeling of your house. Well, the act of drawing is a visualization. I guess that's my final point, or that's where my disagreement slash confusion stands. How can you do an act of visualization without visualizing? I don't see the lines on the blank sheet, but I picture the house in my brain, and then I draw it. If drawing is not an act of visualization, then what is it? You're expressing thoughts in a visual way. I like that must be a visualization. It can't be anything else. Right. Oh, this could maybe PB. Um, yeah, this could maybe PB. It's a 50-50 shot where I get +0, +1. Okay, that's good. Let's see if I got lucky with the decimal places. Yeah! Wow, what a great run! Yeah, most people can't really tell if they're dreaming. Let's read up a bit. Interesting I can dream. Yeah, that lends credibility to my theory that you can subconsciously visualize stuff, but you can't consciously visualize stuff. Like a part of your brain is definitely able to visualize stuff. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to draw. But you can't consciously visualize stuff. You could subconsciously draw, I guess. Like if you were a skilled enough drawer, you would be able to draw with your eyes closed. Just subconsciously. That's what I'm going with, I guess. That's my explanation of tighter this is. Well, that was a nice run. It was a very mentally engaging run, I guess.